Alrighty guys, welcome back. It's your boy EQ. And up next we have Hitmaka, also known as Young Berg, telling Ray Daniels that if Drake came to him during the beef, he would have picked a hit amongst records that Drake had already recorded. But he would have modified the verses to the beef and keep the hook to go with the hit. But it's definitely a little too late for that. And I definitely agree, it definitely would have served him better, as being able to control the commercial landscape is probably the most effective game plan. Because we've seen many superior disses still be ineffective because their record got buried by the more successful one. But Not Like Us was a generational hit, which had scathing verses, yes, but also an anthemic hook that really conveyed the message and wasn't just some generic hit hook, but something that did sound inspired by the beef and could still be relatable for so many people, which is something we've definitely seen, from the world's biggest athletes and figures to people that have probably never even been this interested in rap, ever. The vast variety of people that have asked my opinion on this topic is hilarious. But even Berg, if I'm not mistaken, advocated for Drake to just stay out of all this altogether, and that honestly would have been the best move. Because yeah, people would have definitely had their jokes, but I'm certain Drake's reputation and stock wouldn't be where it is now, an artist out of favor with his label and struggling to catch some W's. All culminating in one of the biggest fall from graces in entertainment history. But enough dilly-dallying, let's jump right into the video, where we have Hitmaka telling Ray Daniels that if Drake came to him during the beef, he would have just picked a hit amongst records that Drake had already recorded, modified the verses to beef, and keep the hook to go out into battle with the hit. And Hitmaka, you're a talented producer, bro, but a generic hook wouldn't have been enough. Not for a record like Not Like Us.
Or something like that, because I've collaborated with Drake several times, not directly one-on-one, but I would have, if I had a candid relationship like with the artists I deal with, I would have.
This is him trying to be asked to work one-on-one.
Said, play me what you got right now, not the diss records. And then I would have heard everything. I would have initially pointed out what I felt the hit was, and I would erased every verse on it, and I would have just kept the hook, maybe tailored it a little bit to feel something like that, and I'd be like, go in on a nigga, but go in on a hit.
And that is what a producer does, everybody. I just want to say that. Because
of course, obviously Drake has had a terrible time strategizing for himself if he is making all these decisions on his own. And if these are all decisions by his team, then honestly he probably has the most incompetent team in history, which is honestly remarkable because of the success this guy has had over the last 15 years.
Because you see what I'm saying? Like if you're reaching, go where you going, because it's almost like we're panicking now. Like we're in panic mode. What do we do? Let's calm down. What's the best we have? Whether this is, but I didn't even. That's what my plan was. Just keep going. Like,
nah, he hit him with a right hook. He beat him to his own win. Like you see what happened with Meek and him.
Yeah,
like
he saw what happened. He should have saw it.
He came and made the hit.
Well, he came with Back to Back, which was obviously a commercial hit. But I'm pretty sure that hook was definitely inspired by the beef as well.
Hit record, but at the same token, allowing grace and being respectful, because I don't know what the mental of everybody was at the same time. Like, in my honest opinion, it's like it was the first time his back was against the wall. Like, but in a way to where it didn't have nothing to lean on. Like Pusha, he came with some shit
true.
That, like, at the end of the day, nigga could write that off. Like, this is my son. I don't give a fuck what you.
Yeah, but the industry squashed that pretty quickly because of the investment they had put into Drake. Because as far as rap, there was obviously no competition. Pusha T washed them and probably set a lot of these moments into motion. But for an artist with so many hit hooks throughout his career, very surprising we didn't get really one at all from him during this beef.
You said about my son. It's my son. I didn't take an L. I'm not going to do this, but it was just strictly music with the Kendrick situation. And I just think he, you know, he to me, honestly, I wouldn't even have entertained it.
You would have went the other way.
Bro, I got, what's Drake's out? What's your out? Like, people have to understand and identify that. As a person in the music business, I want to encourage every.
It's the same reason why a lot of fighters duck some opponents. They'd rather run away from that competition and that potential defeat and keep their belt, even if they are called a paper champion.
Young producer, every young creative to understand what the fuck is your out. This shit don't last forever. It's only rare people in this shit, like a Ray Daniels, like a me, like a niggas that got having a 5-year career is a blessing in this fucking business.
I can't believe
10-year career.
I can't believe we 20 I can't
years?
believe it.
Like, bro.
Nah, but they've definitely pivoted. Obviously, Young Berg started as a rapper and had a lot of scandals of his own that honestly really made him a joke in the culture. But the guy transitioned into producing and he's definitely had a lot of success. As for Ray Daniels, the guy has definitely successfully transitioned into the pod sphere, and you can definitely see the guy's trajectory through some of the guest appearances he's done on some pretty major podcasts. This business, just like any other business, is ruled by relationships.
Like, what is your out now?
Do you feel like he'd have to be an executive or move in that kind of?
He is the executive.
I mean, drop the whole artist thing.
That's why people doing all this bullshit with the fucking lawsuit with you.
Yeah, while technically Drake is an executive, OVO is obviously his label, they really haven't had too much major success.
Universal and everything that's going on, Drake has a fucking
And
label
they've had
deal with
talent.
Warner. He doesn't need Universal.
Yeah.
That's why he pivot and they can come up. Like, I'm sure in Drake's contract, it's nowhere in there that says that he can't create a group. The same way I put Ty Dolla $ign with Jeremiah and called it My Ty. Him and Party Next Door could call their group something.
It's a new entity. That's
different.
true.
Universal can't control it. They can put it out. He can go get hot off that and then figure everything out. So it's just kind of like, man.
How do you think it plays out?
Yeah, he could theoretically do that, but you still have to admit that his reputation right now is in the gutter, and it's going to affect any pending projects, any future projects. His last project, yeah, it went #1, but it was also his third lowest first week numbers ever. The only albums that were lower than that, I'm pretty sure many of you wouldn't even recognize. So he's definitely going through an identity crisis of his own right now.
To me personally, I don't even give a fuck no more. It's it's just so like whatever. I'm just ready for the next Drake hit. You know, I'm open.
So you think he's gonna come back with hits?
Like I said, he wants to be able to work one-on-one with the guy. Pause.
I honestly think that that's what he does. He's a hit maker. That's what he does. I don't know if it will be
true.
received with social media and all this other shit, because somebody always got something bad to say.
Yeah.
I remember when I seen you in LA for BET Awards, right?
That's where I disagree. To be a hit, you have to have commercial success. If the people aren't connecting to the record, it doesn't matter how much money you put into it. It's not going to have a very long shelf life. And it's not like Drake hasn't been dropping music over the past year. He's actually dropped quite a lot of music, but none of it seems to stick. Even his collaborations really aren't going anywhere. They're up on the charts one week to just fall off the charts a few days later. Even now, the one argument that him and his stans could use for Kendrick is that, yeah, I still get more sales than you, which is not the case for this last project, and it's not the case for the top 3 records on Billboard right now, with Drake coming in at #3, and Kendrick Lamar filling the first 2 slots. So that's definitely something they're paying attention to. Something can sound like a hit and not be a hit. It actually happens all the time. They fumble marketing on these records all the time. Some are just so dope that they fight through that, and if you do include that record into the beef, then you're going to have to hope that it beats out Not Like Us, which had all the metrics of being a hit, the sound, the production, the hook, but still felt totally inspired by the beef and written intentionally. Not just a record that they had on ice that they resuscitated to try to catch a hit. And to speak on another of Berg's points, there's definitely a bunch of ways to get around the whole contract thing. Yeah, forming some group or some band, but definitely let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that taking a pre-existing song that sounds like a hit and just tailoring it to the beef would have been enough to get him a W in this beef? I do think it would have put him in a better position, but in hindsight, hearing that Not Like Us record, there was no denying that that was going to be a smash hit. So at the very least, it would have been a very uphill battle. Not Like Us was like the slogan for a lot of people for like a year. So definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders. I really want to thank you guys so much for continuing to make this channel a part of your day. It honestly means the world to me, and honestly, all the love and support that you guys continue to show this channel on a daily is honestly overwhelming, and probably the biggest reason why I make these videos. So I really want to let you guys know how grateful I am. I'm really interested in seeing what you guys have to say on this topic. Hope you guys love this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. And yeah, Berg, it's way too late for that.